Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we're going to do 15 epics that you should absolutely invest your books into. I know that epic books are one of the most hard to come by things in the game, albeit becoming more and more accessible, so you can get epic books out of the bazaar now. If you're in a high enough arena tier, you can get epic books from Clan Boss. That's probably the best place to get them on like a day-to-day basis. And there's also now the advanced quests where you can start to get your epic books once a month if you keep doing them. So you start to get a bit more of this resource, and I figured this video will help you decide where you should throw those books. So let's kick straight in. This is going to be... all of these epics are massively important in this game. A lot of them play as well as, if not better than, some of the legendaries in the game. So we're going to kick in with the first one, who is going to be a damage dealer, Seer. Seer is arguably the best dungeon clearer in the game, including all legendary champions. She's got a one-shot, a whole wave ability, which is her A3, and you want to book this down. You want this cooldown to be 4 turns, not 3 turns. In fairness, the rest of her kit, you're probably comfortable with not getting books into this stuff. It's okay, but it's not like insanely good. But as an epic, she actually takes pretty low amount of books anyway, like what, 5, 6, 7. Compare that to some epics out there that have got like 16 plus. This is a really valuable champion and really well worth your books. So Seer is the first champion. Second one is, we're going to stay with the Orcs, and we're going to go Ultimate Galek. Now, you can play Ultimate Galek without books. You can. But he is the best epic in the game to do damage to Spider. He's the person I look for if I do an account takeover, and it's all about this HP burn on his A3. Now, you can play him without books, but you need to stay alive for a long time without books, because this is on a 6-turn cooldown. If you book it out to a 4-turn cooldown, there's a really good chance that you're going to get back to his HP burn for a second time, and the second time generally is where you kill the spider, not the first time. So if you can get books into this A3, that's awesome. The other stuff, again, if you just landed like 4 books here, I would stop. You don't really need books anywhere else. This is all nice to have stuff, but certainly the HP burn, if you can get 2 books here, that is fantastic. Next one then is a champion which absolutely carries faction wars for dwarves. So we've got Rearguard Sergeant here, really good champion, defense-based, good speed and stuff like that. Now, this ability here, her A3, is the faction war ability. Ally protection, continuous heal. You want to rotate back to this ability as quickly as you can. The faction war level 21 boss is a menace for dwarves, and dwarves have got a really small pool of champions. This ability here on a 3-turn cooldown is also brilliant for Clan Boss. And it's also very helpful for Spider. The other abilities, AoE decrease attack is nice. It's a nice to have. You don't necessarily need it. And she's got a decreased defense here. Again, it's a nice to have to book this up. But if you landed 2 books here, you could stop straight away, knowing that you've got the best of her kit already booked out. But Rearguard Sergeant comes into me as one of the top 15. So next one is going to be one of the new champions, Kaiden. So Kaiden is actually a great new epic in the game. I love his kit. Provoke, I'm not too fussed about books landing here. Decrease attack is a nice to have to book this up to 100% and get another turn cooldown. That's very useful. Faction wars, dungeons, all that type of stuff. But this is the one. Again, A3. If you can land 2 books here, revive 2 allies with 50% HP and increase defense is brilliant. If you can get books here as well, then that would be helpful. But Kaiden, absolutely worth your books. Will be in your faction war team for sure, and also really solid in dungeon content. So Kaiden is the next one up. After that, let's go for somebody who I guess is a hard one to get, but he's an awesome champion. Like Maneater is one of the most sought after champions, especially for his clan boss abilities. So this unkillable and block debuffs on his A3 is huge. If you can get books into this, it means that you'll be able to do really cool unkillable teams for clan boss. I've got tons of videos on that sort of stuff, but he's one of the most sought after epics, if not one of the most sought after champions in the game. if you get 2 Maneaters with this ability booked out, you can basically 3-key Ultra Nightmare very comfortably with low-level champions. He is an absolute game changer. And the rest of his kit is not bad, by the way. You know, he's got a turn meter steal here. He's got a decrease attack here. But if you landed the 2 books here, I would stop. You don't need more books than that in this guy. So Maneater comes in next. Okay, let's keep it moving then. Next one up is an undead fella. I did a video on this guy recently. He's a bit of a sleeper nuke champ. Really, really good epic. Like, incredibly good epic. People underrate this guy all the time. Husk. Husk has got a slam on his A2. And basically you want to book this out to get the cooldown, but also to get the additional stun chance. So it's an enemy max HP hit. It's a multiple stun enemy hit. So on something like the dragon, this is going to be smacking the dragon probably for like 2/3 of what a Cold Heart or a Rearguard does. But also you've got a chance, if you book it to 60%, stun all of the spiderlings. This ability is nuts. Also very good for dragon, and also very good for arena. So that's the ability you want to book. The rest of his kit, an extra bit of provoke here, we're not that fussed about. And a bit of cooldown here, we're not that fussed about, but it's okay. But this is the one that you want to book out, is A2. Okay, let's move on. Start to get to a couple of the big boys. Let's drop in a cheeky Zargala. Now, Zargala is someone that needs a lot of books. Like I spoke about earlier, some champions need more than others. 10, 15 books. It's a ton of books, guys. But Zargala is great in this game. She's got AoE decreased defense here. It's on a 4-turn cooldown if you book it out. And then she's got a crack armor skill, which if she kills someone, she reactivates this ability. So she kills someone, then she gets this triple hit AoE ability and drop defense. You really want this on a 2-turn cooldown because you're constantly throwing out damage. She's the best damage dealing AoE decreased defense champion in the epic category by quite some way if you build her right. She's got a weaken on her A1 as well. She's brilliant in all dungeon content. Yeah, definitely worth your books and definitely worth building into. So let's stick with a damage dealer again. Let's go with, you knew he was coming, Rearguard. So Rearguard is just Mr. Damage. He's a bit like Husk with this ability here on his A2. You don't have to book out a Rearguard. Like, you're probably not using him for his decreased defense ability. And you're probably not using him for this, but actually all of the rest of his kit is great. Like, the rest of his kit is really strong. Decreased speed, decreased defense. And just for the additional damage here, I would book him out. Like, Rearguard is so strong in all dungeon content that I think he's worth your books. So if you've got a Rearguard and you've got some books, he is one of the people, top 15 for me, to throw books into. Okay, let's move on to a speed champion here. Where is she? Barbarian. So someone that everyone's going to get. Don't feed this champion. She is really good. High Khatun, you get her at day 30. Really good champion. And all you want is a book here. You want 1 book on that A2. Reduce the cooldown of her increased speed ability. I still use High Khatun in arena teams. I still use High Khatun to show her off in some of the dungeon stuff. She's got a speed in all battles aura. Brilliant champion. Just want to book here so she gets that increased turn meter in speed quicker. So just on a 3-turn cooldown. The rest of the stuff is also good. Like if you land books on her A3, that's nice. It's a nice to have. It's not a must have. And the A1 extra debuff chance is also a nice to have, but not a must have. But this is a must have. Reduce the cooldown of that increased speed ability. And if we go with another speed champion, this is another really sought after epic because he does so much work in clan boss, in arena, in dungeons, in faction wars. Really cool champ, Seeker. So again, you do want to reduce the cooldown of his turn meter buff and his increased attack buff to 3 turns because it's so valuable. If you do this, then you start to pull comps for clan boss, which absolutely start to break the game in terms of damage. Brilliant champion, worth booking into. It's also nice to have the extra chance to provoke on the A1 if you run him in arena. So you can basically speed up, get another turn. You then go and provoke their speed champion or their damage dealer and stop them doing what their team is meant to do. So very cool and definitely worth books for Seeker. So let's move on. This one, I've actually in the past said you can avoid books here. But he's such a valuable player to anyone who plays the game that I'm probably going back on that and just saying, you know what, book him out. Miscreated Monster, one of the best epics in the game. I mean, is he the best? He might be the best. He might be the best. He's got this A2 ability. He's certainly the best epic in the game for Spider. And Spider is the dungeon that most people struggle with. He's also fantastic for Faction Wars as well, which a lot of people struggle with. So, you know, probably is one of, if not the best epic in the game. But the main thing you want to book is this A2. So you want to get decreased cooldown on his A2 ability. It's a big slam. It puts shields on your team. It stuns the enemy. If it's on a 3 turn instead of a 4 turn, that's what you're looking for. Really good. He's also got this ally protection and continuous heal on his A3. Pretty useful to get back on a reduced cooldown. And he's also got this kind of stun and decreased defense mechanic on his A1, which a little bit of extra chance for that to land is a nice to have. This is not a must have. This is not what you're bringing him into the team for. His passive can't cool down anymore, but it's really his A2 and his A3. If you can get books there, then you're laughing. Really solid champion. So if we stay here for Sepulcher. Now, Sepulcher is one of the best decreased attack champions in the game for Clan Boss. And you really want to get this additional debuff chance on her A1. So an extra 20% chance every time she lands at A1 to get decreased attack is massive if you're using her for decreased attack on Clan Boss. Reducing the cooldown here of increased defense and block debuff. Massive for spiders, massive for Clan Boss, all that type of stuff. And this ability here, this passive, is also so clutch at keeping your team alive that I would put books here as well. So for me, I would book out a whole kit. A whole kit, I think, is worth the books. She is a fantastic champion, defense-based with good speed as well, so you can kind of use her anywhere in the game. Really, really great champion. So, the most broken champion in the whole game for Arena, Madame Serris. Now, you might not need to book her out, because once she's done her ability once on her A3, the rest of your team should do the work and kill people. However, if you don't kill them all, to get this back on a 4-turn cooldown is kind of nice. Also, the increased chance to steal buffs on her A2 is very nice. A1, I don't care about books in at all. But if you landed 2 books here to start with, I would probably stop. If you end up getting a few books into her A2 and you've got enough books, then this is worth booking out as well. But Madame Serris, the best champion in the game for Arena, let alone Epic. The best champion in the game for Arena. So definitely worth trying to get some books into the A3. Okay, we're going to stay with Dark Elves because this is one of my favourite epics, which I've only really discovered recently. I've had her for a long time. I've played around with her in the past and knew that she would be good in a stun set. I did a guide on her recently and I really put some time and effort into the guide. And I was like, damn, she's actually busted good. Like, way, way better than I gave her credit for. And the main reason for that was the ability that I didn't really associate her with. So her A2 throws out a 50% decreased accuracy. I would book this up to 100%. This ability is huge in this game. Like I can't even like over exaggerate how huge this ability is. Decreased accuracy on mobs in Dragon, Spider, Fire Knights, Ice Golem means that if you run in any sort of level of resistance, like 120 resistance plus, you will resist almost everything coming at you. It's busted good. It's so good. So all of those poisons, weakens, and stuff like that coming from the Dragon, you will resist it. Those poisons from Spiderlings, you will resist them. This move here, fantastic ability. I've a ton of times now in the past I've said, crap ability, don't worry about it. I go back on that. I was wrong. This ability is fantastic. Equally for Faction Wars, there's so much of Faction Wars content where they're coming at you with with debuffs, this will help you resist all of those debuffs. This is worth booking down as well. This is one of the best moves for Spider in the game. Decrease speed on all Spiderlings and decrease turn meter on the main Spider, all Spiderlings, all mobs in dungeon content, faction mod content, the arena. This is huge ability. Get her to go second, then get your nukers to go next. You'll have tons of time to get your nukes off. And then this ability here, you kind of don't care about books for because she doesn't really do damage. But A2 and A3, definitely worth books. Brilliant, brilliant epic. You should check out my guide I did recently if you're not sure about her. She is well worth those books. Let me check who else we've got to go here. So we've got a couple more champions. So we've got Tayrel as the next one. Kind of like Sepulcher. You want books on this A1. If you're going to use him as your decrease attack champion, you want books here. Definitely want to try and book this up on his A2 to get 100% chance on his decreased defense AoE. Fantastic for Spider, fantastic for dungeons, brilliant for faction wars as well. And you also actually want to book out this A3 unless you're using him for clan boss. If you use him for clan boss, you kind of don't want the reduced cooldown here. You probably also, you just don't want books landing here really because he'll use this as a priority on clan boss. He basically uses a drop turn meter as a priority anytime the target's turn meter is over 30%. So most of the time on clan boss that will just kick in. So you don't really want the reduced cooldown here for clan boss. But if you use them outside of clan boss, faction wars, dungeons like I do, then I do want this reduced cooldown. So brilliant champion, definitely worth your books. Still rates as my #1 epic on my tier list. And, you know, tons of good champions have come in since then. Next one up is going to be... Where are you? Stag Knight. Very similar to what I've just said there with Tayrel. You do want to book up this AoE decreased defense. You want this to be a 95% chance. And then you want to take the Mastery, which boosts it to 100%. This is what he's all about, is A2. You want it on a 3-turn cooldown. That's what he's known for. This A2 is a fantastic skill. A1's not a bad skill either. So if you're going to be bringing him into dungeon content, this decreased speed ability here is very cool. And to get the extra debuff chance is very useful. And you know, compared to a lot of epics, it's quite a few books, 12 books, but he's worth every book. He is brilliant. One of the top, top 5 epic in the game. So I've got one more to do. One more. And it's actually one of the new champions I've just done a guide on. And I love this guy. Dhukk. I actually didn't think I would. I looked at his base stats. I was like, yeah, they're okay. I looked at his kit and I was like, it's weird. I tell you what, I really, really like this guy. The main thing I'd want to book is his A2. So make sure you get 100% chance to lay this decreased speed and reduce cooldown. Because this on a 3-turn cooldown is huge. Dungeon content, faction war content, and it's useful to have 100% here for the arena as well. This ability nukes as well, guys. So this is definitely one that's worth getting books into. His A3 as well, you want to get 100% chance to stun. And you want to get the reduced cooldown here as well. It's a big ability. Stealing turn meter is huge. Really, really worth the books. So guys, I think that is 15. But yeah, 15 amazing epics. All worth those books. But just consider where I've said the books are worthwhile going into. Because once you land the books in the right place, save your books, move on to the next champ. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you later.